In the past few weeks, a great number of Indians have come forward on crowdsourcing platforms such as Keto and Milap to raise funds, donations specifically for certain specific causes or sections of society which are considered to be underprivileged. Now, these donations may be raised either to hand out food and other necessities to the underprivileged, or it could be to meet their medical needs, or for procurement of equipment such as medical concentrators, oxygen concentrators, oxygen cylinders, and some such. Now, in this case, while of course whatever I'm about to say is not in any way to deter people from, undertaking these activities which help society at large, however, should be taken as a precaution from a tax perspective, because there is a possibility if individuals are raising funds through crowdsourcing platforms which are coming into their individual bank accounts, tomorrow the tax department may actually send you a notice and impose taxes on all these funds or donations received into your account. So what can you really do? Firstly, if time allows you and your network allows for it, it's important that you get in touch with a not-for-profit enterprise or an NPO, which is registered with the income tax department. What kind of documentation can you see? One, they of course must be registered as a trust society or a section 8 company. In addition to it, it's important that they registered with the tax department as a not-for-profit enterprise. These enterprises, once registered, are not taxed whatever funds they receive as donations through the year. As long as they spend 85% of it, there is no tax imposed on it. So if you can find any such organization and partnering with them, create a Milap or a Keto profile for crowdsourcing donations so that the money is received in their bank account. It's better because you are avoiding any kind of tax implication on your individual self in your tax returns, um, taking the risk of the tax department sending you a notice. So if you do not have access to any such network of NPOs, one suggestion could be that the Sikhs are doing a great deal of work through the local gurdwaras in helping people in need during these times. So you could get in touch with the local gurdwara committee, find out if they are registered with the tax department, and of course use their bank account to carry out these donations. Now you may have a concern about whether the cause for which you're raising funds, whether the not-for-profit would also be interested in donating for the exact same cause, or you might be concerned that they may use those funds for certain other causes which you probably are not focusing on right now. In that case, a second level of documentation that you can do is entering into a memorandum of understanding or an MOU with such not-for-profit enterprise, stating that you will be facilitating this crowdsourced donation for them through your network or through online modes, which will be coming into their bank account from a particular source, which could be the bank account of the crowdsourcing platform. And they have to be used only for the demarcated 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 number of causes or manners in which you have stated in the MOU. I'm sure a bunch of not-for-profits will be happy to do this, and help you in this cause. If for whatever reason you're unable to do this, this is the most preferred method for you to go ahead with this, because if you don't do this and money comes into your individual bank accounts, and say it's substantial, it's upwards of 2, 3, 4, 5 lakh rupees, there is a possibility that the tax department may send you a notice and impose tax on the entire amount, because you are not registered as a not-for-profit and you're not really registered or exempt by the tax department to carry out such activities and raise funds. So if you can not do the first, which is the most preferable, at least basic safeguard that you can take is keep a copy of the agreement that you would have entered into with any crowdsourcing platform. um, Keep any kind of documentation showing that these many people contributed to it, this was the total amount raised, these are the 3 or 4 bank transactions through which you've received funds in your bank account from these crowdsourcing platforms, and how immediately and promptly the same amount has been utilized through banking channels for carrying out donations, either paying it directly to a not-for-profit organization, or procuring those medical equipment as you intended to, and keeping all bills, invoices, documentation on how you've utilized those funds. I'm not saying that doing this second option will completely absolve you from taxes and you may not be subject to questions. You can still be put to questions by the tax department as to why the entire receipts were not shown under the head of income from other sources and not uh, paid tax on, this tax liability can be as per your tax slab. So if it's a substantial sum, you could be liable to pay the highest tax slab rate, which is 30%, plus of course surcharge and cess on it. So prefer that you partner with a not-for-profit organization, enter into an MOU with them, and try if you can get funds directly into their bank accounts. Share it with someone who may need it.